Hi everyone, this is Silesh Ram, AsianCultureVultureCom. We've reached the end of the International Film Festival of India and we're still in one piece. So I'm joined by Natalie Barras, Nat Bollywood. She's been behind the camera for Iffi50 at this festival.
The Abhishek Shah, do you remember that interview?
Yes. That was quite hilarious because there was actually somebody in the bed.
We did it in a hotel room. We did it in his hotel room. And Abhishek doesn't even introduce him or just totally ignores him. And we're like...
It was quite bizarre. Abhishek actually went into this little spiel at the end about sound effects and all that. I didn't really know what he was going on about.
Can we just do the intro just in that position?
So we also had good sound design for the interview, right? So
This sound design.
you will get the...
Do you want to explain what this is? Who this person is?
The producer Ayush Patel is here in the room and he's having a good time with the bat. So he's sleeping over there. He's the creative producer and the executive producer of the film and he's enjoying.
So what was a high point for you?
I was thinking about this earlier because I knew you'd ask me this. I think meeting the director, Manaz Mahmoodi,
Oh, okay.
because I didn't see the film. Obviously, I've seen the trailer.
Mother, that's the film.
But hearing her story, and when she was talking to you and talking to us before and after the interview about her life, you know, in Iran as a female documentary maker and film producer and women's rights activist.
Yeah, no, I was impressed with all the women we met, the directors, the producers, and there was a bit of a, I mean, they said that some 50 films were in the festival from women directors.
I didn't know if there had been like a skew because I was behind the camera and you thought maybe we need to put some more women
No,
filmmakers
it wasn't
in
conscious. Like, I mean, I watched these films, I liked them, and then I went off to find the directors and talk to them about it. It wasn't like I'm looking for women specifically. I mean, at Film Bazaar, we came across some women producers, and that also was very powerful in what they were saying, successful women producers.
What I really enjoyed as well was meeting the other Brits that had come over, some that were just here for the film festival, but you know, others that had come here to sort of base themselves here. I thought they were really interesting and really exciting.
Yes, I think you're talking about Tamara Gordon.
Tamara, and also who was the actor guy?
Harry Pearson.
Harry Pearson, yeah. Both of them, their stories, both involving their fathers as well, randomly.
Yes. Very ironic in many ways because, again, we didn't know it was... we met them at the bazaar and we got chatting to them and realised they had a slightly parallel story, albeit Tamara Gordon, her real father, her biological father, is now in Canada and is actually third generation Indian.
What about for you? Was your highlight either person or film?
I like the opening film a lot, despite the fog. Had a lot of humanist values to it. It was about immigration and not well, really about asylum, because there's an orphan kid who arrives in Italy. He's really desperate to reunite with his parents in Sweden. I mean, it's a little bit of a myth because his parents died in the journey over on the boat from the Mediterranean, and it's a really heart-rending story. An Italian couple take him in, and it's done with great sympathy and compassion. It's the kind of film that Satyajit Ray would have really enjoyed and promoted in a way, because it reminds me of those kinds of values, and I think the festival did really well to choose that film.
What I was wondering about is what you thought about the Bollywood contingent, because obviously I come from a Bollywood fangirl point of view. What I thought was lovely was Amitabh and Rajnikant, their friendship that we saw right at the beginning.
Thank you so much, Rajni, for being with me, and an incredible source of inspiration. Such a humble human being, came up from such humble beginnings.
That was a real insight into the two men and their careers. They've had very long careers, more than 50 years, I think, now in film. Amitabh especially.
Are they competing with each other, do you think?
No, I don't think so. I think they both have their respective fan bases. It's slightly geographical in India. Outside India, Rajnikant is a lot better known in Southeast Asia and Japan and stuff. Amitabh, obviously, in the West is probably a bit better known than Rajnikant. But terrific to see that, and it was a good idea to bring them both to Goa. Ilayaraja, the music composer from Chennai, was fantastic. He's another one who's had a very long career composing film scores and is widely recognised here in some ways as being bigger than A.R. Rahman.
Right.
And also the young trendsetters, I thought Vijay Deverakonda, who's really made a name for himself in a film called Arjun Reddy, which some of you may have come across in the UK as Kabir Singh.
That was the original South version, and then it got remade as Kabir Singh, a film that I didn't enjoy.
I haven't seen it, so I can't say, but he certainly played the character with great gusto, and he's a very charismatic figure, maybe a little bit cocky, but I think people like that. He's very articulate and a good person to listen to. And Rakul Preet Singh came across very well as well, one of the kind of rising stars of Bollywood, and she's done a lot of films in the South. So I think it was quite good to get them together and talk about their respective careers with breaking out of South Indian film industry. Deverakonda hasn't made a Hindi film yet, but I think it will happen fairly soon.
He's a good-looking guy, so...
Yes, that's what the ladies say.
I went to a couple. I went to the Adil Hussain and Prakash Jha. I hope that wall isn't going to fall down at some point.
Well.
And that was really interesting. They were talking about Pariksha, and that's what we then got to meet Adil a day later, I think, after that.
Buchi uncle, no song today.
अरे song? कौन सा वाला? English वाला?
Adil does always really interesting work, and usually there's some kind of social content, social message to that particular film.
And he's a nice guy.
Yeah, he was terrific to interview.
I'm doing very well, thank you. Thank you for inviting me to talk.
I enjoyed meeting Kabir Bedi.
So, okay, let's talk about that.
I'm with a fantastic Kabir Bedi, who I'm sure you all know is a fantastic actor. He's another very iconic figure in cinema. He does a lot of Master of Ceremonies role, that voice.
The voice, can we mention his wife?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a picture. They're public figures. We got to meet her as well. Off camera, I said to her, your husband's voice. I mean that, and she said, yeah, I've had to tell him when he does a talk to people, for like the first few minutes, it doesn't matter what you say, just give them anything because they're actually still tuning into your voice and just trying to like focus. Did he have that effect on you? Were you a bit like...
Yeah, I like many people would recognise his voice, and he was at the front of a different talk, and I had just spoken to him briefly before and said, would you be interested in doing an interview? He said, yes, fine, just come and get me afterwards.
He didn't say like that, he would have said like,
Yeah,
yes,
I mean, obviously,
fine.
Yeah. And then I was dreading him actually asking a question because I knew once he asked a question in that voice, a lot of people would recognise it. And lo and behold, that is what happened. But luckily, he's very professional, and he didn't keep us waiting. So it was good.
Yeah, he was nice. He came across well. Who else?
The House Owner, the film that we did with Lakshmi, the interviews we did with the cast and crew from that's also a terrific film about Alzheimer's in some ways, also about love and the way love changes and the two people. I thought it was beautifully done. Romantic scenes are fantastic if you're a sucker for those. And yeah, all the films I saw, apart from maybe the closing one, I actually really liked, and I will be writing some reviews, so you can catch up with those on the site. So yes, do tune in to AsianCultureVultureCom on YouTube and also the website. There are some stories there written in real time. So some of them are very short précis of some of the talks I attended, and there's some more videos and pictures that'll be going up.
Watch and share the videos.
Indeed. What are you off to next? Anything in particular?
To bed. I'm just going to go home and go to bed.
Right. I'm off to Macau, so we'll catch up with you there in the other side of the world almost.
All right. See you later, Sailesh.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Okay.
Cut.